I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Welcome to part 2 of the Feminine Burnout Series. Today we're going to talk about energy, time management, and fatigue. And let's face it, Superwoman, how many of you are overscheduled and exhausted? Energy, time management, fatigue. This is the feminine burnout trifecta. So you're going to want to listen carefully to today's episode. And if you missed it, you're going to want to go back and watch episode 1 of this series. It's episode 62 of the podcast, and it's the woman who cannot ask for help. And if we are exhausted, overworking, we probably have a hard time asking for help. So usually these superwoman traits go hand in hand. Hello and welcome to the Pleasure Principles podcast. Over the next few weeks, we are going to be taking a deeper dive into the lives and experiences of women living with feminine burnout. You are them, you know them, they are your friends, your sisters, your daughters, and we're going to talk about how feminine burnout affects their lives, relationships, health, and success. These stories are created in the likeness of women that I work with, and you will probably find yourself in many of the experiences. And that is why I do the work that I do, because these experiences have become so normalized, so universal, that women aren't even seeking help. They are living with it. Or should I say they're like slowly dying with it. We are resigning ourselves to lives where we feel miserable, isolated, depressed, exhausted, resentful, with no sex drive, or maybe we're having sex, but we're disconnected from our long-term partners. There's something seriously missing in our relationships. We're scheduled within an inch of our lives. We're sacrificing and picking up everybody else's slack. When did that become the best that we could hope for as women, as wives and mothers, CEOs, business owners? Nope. I want more than that for me, for my daughter, and for you too. While the themes of these stories can apply to every person of every gender, I do recognize it is not just women who feel burnt out, overworked, and underappreciated. My expertise and experience is in women's health, and that is where I choose to focus my work and energy. I have an overarching belief that fixing the systems and beliefs that are broken and keeping us small will result in more love, more pleasure, more space, and more acceptance for everyone. And that is the world that I'm building. And I invite everyone to join me in the pleasure revolution. Let me introduce you to Linda. Linda is in her late 30s. She has a kid from her first marriage and a child with her current partner. She runs a super successful business. She's booked, busy, but not in a good way. Conversations with friends go something like this. Hey, I'm in town this week. Do you want to have lunch? And she's so overscheduled that she doesn't have time to fit in lunch with a friend for probably 6 to 8 weeks because her calendar is that jam-packed. Her partner and family want to go on a vacation, so She's blocked it off, but she is far too busy to put the planning and effort that she would want to. So she's stuck last minute planning for the family vacation and feels like she has very, very little time for herself, her yoga, her appointments, her personal appointments are the first things to get canceled off the calendar when there is shit going down. And let's face it, superwomen, we are the shit handlers. So I know you know. Linda's schedule is jam-packed every single day from the time she wakes up till the time she goes to bed. And she is constantly rearranging her schedule, double booking herself, and wishing she had more time, wishing that she got her to-do list done. This is a daily thought that she has. She skips out on doctor's appointments, the dentist, self-care, and anything that isn't deemed productive because it's just too hard for her to find the time. She hasn't taken a vacation for more than a day or two for at least a few years. And the last time she went away with just her partner, it was awful. They fought the whole time. She couldn't relax. She was still answering work emails. And like we know, vacation fighting is worse than regular fighting because we're on vacation. We're supposed to be relaxing and enjoying. So when we are not, it feels even worse. So she came home more anxious and stressed than when she left. The mountain of work that she had when she got back felt like, why did I even go away at all, take time off at all? And she hasn't really felt eager to repeat that experience. She describes her life as constantly putting out fires and finds herself canceling and rebooking things to accommodate her kids, her staff, her husband, making her schedule more busy and always to accommodate the urgent needs of others. And like I said, if you did not listen to episode 62 of the Pleasure Principles podcast, and this sounds like you, you're going to want to go back and listen to that one. Many of Linda's relationships are higher conflict, and she feels so much guilt that she isn't present and doesn't have a closer relationship with her kids. She definitely doesn't admit that to anyone. She admits it to me. But there's something missing there because she's been so busy. She feels like she's missed out a lot as her kids have grown up. Linda doesn't have time for friends or relaxing. She doesn't like to admit it, but sometimes she lies about her work so she can get in a few minutes or hours of peace if everyone thinks she's in a meeting or doing something productive. She wouldn't be able to handle it if others knew that she was resting or, as she calls it, being lazy, so she pretends to be working. But even then, she is so worried about getting caught, about all the things that she should be doing. She's not really getting in any restorative relaxation. So Linda is on all the time. The only time she gets to slow down is when she's sick. So once or twice a year, she will get hit with a really bad virus or flu that puts her out of commission for about a week. She spends the whole time feeling guilty, trying to make up for lost work, managing her employees from her bed, and then she jumps right back onto the hamster wheel. So her body was offline, but her brain was still going, still not resting. And it really is the only time that Linda does feel like she can ask for help, when she literally is too sick to walk. It's the only time that she feels comfortable asking her partner, her kids for help. And this is something that I know all too well from my own life experience. Linda invests a lot of money into online courses, workbooks, and products that she is sure will be the solution to her tornado of a life. And then she is too busy to touch them or use them.
She recently discovered she's been paying over $500 a month for a corporate scheduling software that was going to revamp her life, that she hasn't implemented or touched in over a year, and another training that she's paid over $1,000 for, and she hasn't even made her login. Who can relate? Definitely been there, done that myself. Her conversations with her partner are businesslike. They're about work, the kids, the house. She longs for that connection, that deep eye gaze, that spark she used to get when they touched. Her nervous system is constantly in a state of fight or flight, a state of get shit done, put out fires. She has become addicted to the cortisol rush of being busy. In fact, she worries if she slows down, her whole world will fall apart. This is something that super women exactly like Linda tell me every single day, that they don't know what they would do. They don't know how to stop. They're scared of it. This level of busyness and overfunctioning is their normal. It feels normal to their nervous system. And the thought of slowing down is scary. Her body's learned that resting, being, allowing downtime feels really wrong. She craves the constant action, and it burns her out, leaves her with a little less in her tank every single day. We call this tired but wired. And I don't know about you, but I am exhausted just talking about it. I remember when my days, my calendar, when I used to say those things, and I really never want to go back there. I'm at a phase of massive change in my business, and basically in the startup phase again. And I remember when I did a startup the first time, I felt like this every single day for about a year. And I could see the toll it took on me physically, mentally, with my relationships. And I'm so grateful to have the tools, the understanding, the knowledge that I have now, because it's going to be startup with ease, startup with lightness, startup that has rest to allow us to grow. So I will check back in with that and how that's all going. But yes, I'm just, as I'm talking to you about Linda, about women like you and I'm so grateful to know what I know now, because it's going to look totally different this time. So let's talk about the toll that living this way takes on your body physically. So Linda has dark circles under her eyes. She's bloated after she eats. She craves sweets in the afternoon, in the evenings, uses wine to unwind. She's gained a few extra pounds that she keeps promising herself she will take off when she has the time to do it. I know you saw that one coming. She doesn't sleep well. She wakes up in a sweat, panicked about work, and her hair is thinning. She longs for the days where she would lay in bed with her partner and they would have sex before they started their day. We are not meant to ignore the parts of ourselves that need rest, compassion, relaxation, and peace. If growing up like me, you were rewarded for achieving, for being the best, for being faster, for getting higher grades, loved when you made your parents look good with your manners, with your appearance, with your performance, there is a good chance you have a poor relationship with the following feminine characteristics: rest, compassion, stillness, peace, creativity, letting go, surrender, allowing. When we do not honor our natural human need for balance in these areas, we become crusty, stressed, high tension. We stop sleeping restfully. We disconnect from our loved ones. We fake happiness to those around us. And I know you've been there, wiping the tears away before a meeting, pasting on the smile, smiling because those around you are smiling, or laughing because those around you are laughing, but it is not a true, authentic, genuine laugh. We feel like chickens with our head cut off, running around aimlessly. Do that for enough time and you will inevitably start to feel the mental and physical effects of running on empty and overcommitting yourself. Linda needed to learn that she can be just as successful and make time for herself. Make time for herself to become a woman who can relax, have faith that she will get it all done, that when she is relaxed, rested, fulfilled, life will happen with ease. And when I get on calls with women for the first time that are interested in working with me, we talk about these things and they listen, they nod their heads, and it's like I'm talking about some elusive promised land, because it is so opposite of how we've been taught to achieve what we've been awarded and praised for. So it's very common to think like, I want that, but I have no idea how to get there. Or, yeah, sure, that's just not possible for me. And insert every single excuse or reason why it's available for me and the women that I work with, but not for you because you have it harder, you are busier, et cetera, et cetera. But when we get those we get our fear out of the way, or we decide to be scared and do it anyway, that is when we really start to change these patterns. You are the only person who can take care of you. How has expecting those around us to do this for us working out? Especially when we can't ask for help, especially when we are so busy, crusty, stressed that we don't know how to slow down and let people help us. So many superwomen live their lives like this, from one fire to the next, with no space in their schedules or their brains. They start to alienate the people in their lives that love them the most because there is no space for them. Fixing this isn't as simple as finding the right program, the right assistant, or it will get better when the kids are able to drive themselves, or insert, when this sport is over, because it doesn't. If we're really honest, it doesn't get better, because this is an inside problem. This is our superwoman conditioning, the way we have been brought up, the way we think, that is creating our external reality. Linda is the perfect example of how that can fail if you aren't healed and intentional about it. The truth is, you need to do the inner work to honor your feminine desire for rest and relaxation. It's the balance that we need. We need to be able to do, achieve, excel when required. And we also have to have the yin, the relax, the being, the letting go. And this not only is a recipe for more sex, better health, more connected relationships, it will also help you out a lot at work. We need to undo all of the stories that tell you that you're lazy if you rest, that we don't want our families to see us resting with our feet up, that we clean before the cleaners get here. We need to find strength in being grounded and being able to surrender. And if you have a visceral response to when I say surrender, I'm talking to you. If you think surrender is weak, I'm talking to you. So when we're grounded in strength and surrender, we can show up for ourselves. Our desires are clear. We know what we want. We know how to ask for it. And those around us can feel it. People want to be around us in that state. They want to give to us. They want to help us because we feel like sunshine. How does being around us feel when we are overworked, overwhelmed, crusty, resentful? And really, we're so alone in that state that all we want someone to do is throw us a lifeline, but we've been pushing people away. So we're getting the exact opposite result that we want. So I'm your lifeline. The Pleasure Collective community is your lifeline. And that is where some of your healing can start. This is how we undo the damage of feminine burnout, by teaching ourselves that we are worthy of it, by making room for healing and implementing and taking the action, doing the work on ourselves to become who we need to be in order to create the life that we desire. If this episode speaks to you and you are ready to do something about it, visit thepleasurecollective.com/feminine burnout recovery. Let's figure out how we can work together and what you need to do to stop being so overscheduled, stop being so overwhelmed, and start living a life of ease, a life where people want to be around you. You've been running on empty for so long that you are probably feel stuck, probably don't know where to turn. So let me and my team help you. Remember, everything comes when we learn how to receive. We learn to heal our feminine burnout. Better sex, better health, more wealth. Visit thepleasurecollective.com/feminine burnout recovery to find out more. We are going to talk about the woman who doesn't know what she wants. Can you pick a restaurant or struggle to order an item off a menu? That is you. The woman who can't make time for herself, and the woman who, in spite of really being a good person with a good heart, cannot seem to be nice to anyone. Snappy, frustrated. It's coming out before you can catch it. So that's just a little teaser of what's to come on the Feminine Burnout Series. Have a great week, everybody.
If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.